Hello and welcome to the WOOLapyk Podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting, yarn dyeing, and today I actually have a little bit of doll making. I don't know, I'll show you at the end. I don't really think you can call it doll making, but yeah, this is a creative podcast, I guess you could call it. It is middle of July and it's a fairly hot day today. I have my windows open, so I hope it's not gonna be too noisy for you guys. I'm also recording on my phone because my camera battery died. Well, what am I saying? No, my camera battery is fine, but my memory card is gone, which I would love to say that I didn't throw it away, but I think I probably lost it somewhere. It could be my daughter as well, but it's probably me. Today I have a few things to share with you guys. I have 2 finished objects and I have 2 works in progress and I'm actually missing one of them, so I'm just gonna go grab that one real quick. Yeah. Okay, so this is the other finished object. Now I think I have everything here. And what else do I have? Then I have a few little, I don't know if they're dolls, but just little figures that I made for my daughter that I wanted to show you real quick. And then I have a few just bits and pieces that I want to share with you guys if the time allows. I'm hoping to keep this around 30 minutes and my daughter is sleeping, so we'll see how far we get. But let's start with some finished objects because, like I said, I have 2. I think I'm gonna start with one for my daughter, which is, this little thing. It's the Bluse by Nordisk Strik or Anne-Sophie Velling Jespersen, which is, well, it's from a book basically, and it's one of my favorite books for children's garments. It's a very I talk about it a lot, so if you follow along here for a while, you know that I love that book. And the Tuya Bluse is, the original pattern is sort of a 3/4 length sleeves. It has like a high-low edge on the bottom, and then it has ribbons in the back for tying. So what I did, and then it's knit in a 28 stitches gauge or 27, something like that. So what I did, because this is obviously doesn't have 3/4 length sleeves, I did a few modifications. Oh, actually I did quite a lot because this yarn is a Pickles bamboo yarn, and I think the gauge is 20 stitches. So the gauge was off, obviously, and I also added shorter sleeves. I made it a lot longer so she can wear it as a dress. If I remember, I'll put in a little picture or a video of her wearing it. And yeah, so what I did was I cast on for the 6-month size, and it's knit top down, so I just increased and I tried it on her until it fit her. And then I sort of continued as the pattern told me to. I just made it a lot longer. And so I guess it's hard for you guys to see. It's quite long on her because when I blocked it, it grew a little bit. But it's fine, it doesn't matter. And my thought with this was that she could wear it as a dress and then as a tunic. And then when she's quite a lot older, it's gonna be a beautiful top for her. So it has a lot of different functions and it can kind of grow with her, which I really like because, well, you know, knitting takes a lot of time and kids grow quite fast. So this will be something that she can wear a lot. For the sleeves, I followed the pattern, and then at the point where you kind of go back, so you knit the body and then you go back and pick up for the sleeves. Well, you don't pick up because you just have the stitches for the sleeves on a stitch holder, or I just had it on a piece of scrap yarn. So I picked those stitches up on the needle, and then I did a make one in each stitch, so I doubled the stitches, and then I don't know if you can see, I just knit for a couple of centimeters, then I did a round of purl stitches, and then I knit for a couple of centimeters again, and then I just sort of folded it over and sewed it down, which is the same as you do at the bottom of the dress. Well, the blouse, but I'm saying dress now because of the dress. And I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's a little heavy, though it's not as heavy as I thought it would be. And it's got a lot of drape because of the bamboo. But I expected that. That's, you know, how bamboo is as a fiber. And oh, this is the back. And I'm not quite done because I need to sew a little bit of this edging down up here. But anyway, oh, there's the ribbon. I actually wanted like a really bright blue ribbon, but I couldn't find any, so this one was like the second choice. And I like those two, the color combination of the blue and that coppery beautiful color. I really like this color yarn. It was a really enjoyable knit. I like knitting stockinette stitch, so that was quite nice. And I did knit it up quite fast, but I guess the gauge again is different than on the original pattern. That's gonna be it for the Tuya blouse, who is now made into a dress. If you have any questions, just ask them down below in the comments, and I'll try and answer as the best I can. On to the second finished object, which is, I'm so happy about this one. This is the Soldad Knit Crop by Caitlin Hunter, also known as Boylan Knitworks on Instagram. And I really like this. I have not done a whole lot of color work, and on my last podcast I kind of talked about how I did different techniques to see what worked best for me, and it was very wonky, and some bits still are. Like, I don't know, the one right here is a little bit wonky, but blocking did a lot for this piece. I mean, really evened it out a lot. So the colors that I've been using are, this one is by Little Lionhead Knits. Oh, this one. Beautiful peachy color. I did an advent swap with her, and this was one of the colors I got. And the rest are my colors, on my hand-dyed yarn. The green one is dried eucalyptus. The pink is a avocado dyed, and then the yellow is just the one-of-a-kind color. I've tried this on. It's a little wide at the bottom, but it's not really for me it's fine. I don't mind. I've seen other people have them quite more fitted versions of the Soldad Knit Crop, but I kind of like that it's a little flowy, also because it's a crop version, so I'm mostly gonna wear it over dresses. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping to get a lot of wear out of it in the fall. Right now it's too warm. But I was actually putting this on for the podcast, and then I was wearing it for a minute and I had to take it off because it's too warm today. It's very humid. I think it's gonna be thunder later on in the afternoon. So yeah, I don't really think there's no much else to say about this. I talked about it, like I said, in the last podcast, so I don't really feel like there's a need to repeat myself. Yeah, that's it. Soldad Knit Crop. It was. A lot of people on Instagram have been saying that it's such a quick knit, and for me it was not a quick knit, and I think it's because I'm new to color work. I do get that it's a quick knit compared to a whole sweater that's not cropped with long sleeve, but it did take me a while, just with the color work and everything. But I enjoyed it, so it wasn't an issue or anything. It's just, for me it was a longer knit. But it's a fun introduction to color work, actually, because the floats are not long. I think the longest you have maybe 4 stitches that you need to have floats, something like that, or maybe 5. So it's a great introduction piece, in my opinion. if you want to knit a sweater. I think maybe gloves or mittens would be quicker, or maybe not, because they have a smaller gauge. So anyway, I'm just rambling right now. Sold out that crop. Really enjoyed it. One thing, I actually was considering knitting longer sleeves, and I was talking about this last time as well, but decided, oh, camera just moved. Okay, there we go, sorry. Because if I were to knit it with longer sleeve, I wanted it to be this color, and I used up all the yarn on this one for the body and this small color wig up here. So but I do think I would probably wear more with the longer sleeved, in the longer sleeve version. We will see. Yeah, so those were the 2 finished objects. How much time have I used? Okay, so works in progress. We were, like I said, we were on vacation, and we came back a couple of days ago, and I'd been knitting a couple of things for my daughter because I didn't really feel like she had a lot of warm weather wear or clothing to wear. So I knit her that 2-year bluser that you just saw, the dress, and then I found a pattern in a Paelas book it's a Norwegian kidwear knitting company thing, knitting pattern company, and they had like it's called like a omslæs top, which means like cross top, I guess. Like you sort of, I'm gonna show you anyway. So this is the front. This is what it's gonna be on the back, and then obviously you're gonna sew these down here. It's a very cute little pattern, and I think even though she didn't get to wear it on our vacation, I can use it as a top because she can wear it on top of long sleeve shirts and things like that. The only thing I have to say about, or negative about this pattern is, which really isn't about the pattern because the pattern was fine and fairly easy to follow, but I don't really like the bottom of it. So there's not really any edging on the bottom. This is the front. It just has these, I don't know, things sticking out, as you can see. And it's the same on the pattern, and also I was looking on the hashtag on Instagram, and it's the same on that, like the other versions that I've seen of this. So I'm thinking that maybe I can make an I-cord bind off, or pick up and then do like an I-cord edging. So what I did when I knit the back piece on both of them was that I left 2 live stitches. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try and sew it together, and then I'm gonna pick up stitches on the front of the garment, and then I'm gonna start at one edging and just do like an I-cord all the way around the edging until I get to the other piece, and then sort of do a Kitchener stitch the 2 together. We'll see. Hopefully that's gonna make it a little more even. I just feel like this is sort of unfinished. It looks unfinished to me. So the yarn I'm using is, I don't have the, I've actually knit this, I knit this into a top for me years ago and I never used it, so I'm unraveling it. But it's Pickles, again, it's a Pickles 100% cotton yarn. And they've since gotten a new version of the cotton yarns. This is a little, I don't know if you can see, it's spun quite bumpy. I don't know. I know that's not the proper term for it, but it just has sort of a bumpy feel to it. And I think the new cotton yarn is a lot smoother. It's actually quite nice to work with. If you see, there's definitely some bounce to it. It's not that stiff at all. So actually quite enjoyed working with it. And the same for the bamboo yarn. I like working with that too. So I don't know, if you want to knit cotton yarns or like plant-based fibers, I guess, then Pickles would be an excellent choice, because yeah, I find it enjoyable to work with, and I generally don't like working with plant fibers, so, but this I didn't mind at all. Okay, so, oh yeah, so my next object, which is a work in progress again, is, just a second, I'm just gonna get a little bit to drink. We were packing for our vacation, and we had people staying here, Airbnb, staying in our flat, and we basically used every evening on, like, leading up to our departure date to cleaning the flat. So everything, cupboards, and yeah, we just like a really good deep clean of the apartment, which definitely is needed. But it just, we were busy, and then we had to pack and everything. And so I had my yarn ready. I wanted to knit on, like, the omsless top that I just showed you for Esther. I wanted to bring that one. And then I had bought the pattern. I printed out the pattern in the evening before we left, like at almost 1 o'clock at night. Jakob thought it was crazy, but I was like, I need to, like, the pattern is important. So someone is up. Back after the interruption. So I was talking about how I was printing out the pattern late at night. I had the yarn ready, and I decided that I would just kick the yarn up early in the morning. We had to leave at 5 in the morning, but I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do it in the morning. It's not gonna take that long. And then I forgot about it. I forgot the yarn. I had the pattern and everything else, but I forgot the yarn, which was just a crazy bummer. So I was just so bummed. Luckily though, I had brought a couple of skeins of Knitting for Olive's pure silk with me. I think this is the plum, yeah, blomme. Blomme means plum in English. Colorway. I have 4 of these, and last time I was talking about how I finished the lace pants by Knitting for Olive for my daughter and how they were itching, and thank you so much for all your suggestions on that. One person suggested in the comments on my last video that if they were quite big on her, that she could wear them with tights underneath. I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's genius, because they are a little big on her. So once fall rolls around, she can wear those with tights underneath. I'm totally gonna do that. Another one of you suggested soaking them in conditioner for your hair, so I might try that as well. But I'm just so happy that I can still put them on her because they're really cute on. Anyway, that was a side note. So I had brought the Knitting for Olive pure silk with me because I thought, okay, if I finish everything, which obviously I would not have finished everything, but if I do, I can cast on for another pair of lace pants. So since I forgot the other yarn, I finished off the omsless top that I just showed you, and then I cast on for another pair of lace pants for her. And this is the first leg, which is done now. I need to cast on for the second leg. I did a kind of a mistake. There's supposed to be 3 rows between the gather rows here, and there's only 2. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna do the same on the other leg. Yeah, I've actually been knitting in a lot of plant-based fibers now, huh? The Tuya Bluse, and yeah. Anyway, so this I actually quite enjoy working with as well. The only thing is that it's quite splitty, and I think it's just because it's 100% silk, so the yarn sort of tends to split a little bit, at least when I knit with it. I'm a little unsure about the color. I think it may be a little too purple for me, so I think what I'm gonna do once I'm done knitting these, I'm gonna over dye them with a brown, and I think that's gonna be a really pretty color, like I don't know what you call that color. A purple with a brown undertone. Well, actually the other way around. A brown with a purple undertone. I think those are gonna be super pretty. Yeah, hoping to just keep on working on these and just Actually, I should just cast on for the other leg now, huh? That way I know that I'll be working on them. It didn't take me that long to do this lace now because I think it's my 3rd time doing it. So it gets quicker and quicker each time I do it, which is nice. Yeah. So these are the lace pants by Knitting for Olive. Knit and yarn by Knitting for Olive. That's basically all I've been working on since I last spoke to you guys. I wanted to show you. I ordered some yarn that I wanted to try out, some new yarn. I did a couple of polls on Instagram asking people what kind of yarn bases they would prefer, and a lot of people voted for well, not a lot of people, but I would say it was like 60-40 or something like that. So I had I can't even remember the other yarn. I think it was linen in the other yarn. Anyway, this is a superwash, 80% superwash merino and a 20% bamboo yarn. And that's actually what I wanted to knit my ribbled, which I forgot. I'm really sorry, I'm all over the place. The other, this was the yarn I wanted to bring for our vacation to knit on. And the pattern, which I don't think I mentioned, is the ribbled crop top by Jessie May. And the yarn, like I said, is 80% merino, 20% bamboo. It does not take the dye that I expected it to be, like the speckles to be a lot more pronounced, but they do sort of, they're a little slower at being absorbed in the yarn, which I guess it's the bamboo. So this is Underwater Fairies, a new colorway, and I think, let me see. Oh, I thought I had one here so I could show you what it looks like on. Okay, I thought I had it behind me, but I don't. It's just it's very different than my superwash merino nylon base. But I'm really excited about knitting it up. It's a lot more plump than also my other superwash base. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping to knit this, but we'll see. I have other plans and other things I want to be knitting, so it may not really happen this year because summer is, well, we're already in the middle of summer now. Another thing that I want to show you guys is something I've talked about on my last podcast, but the camera, I don't know, it deleted a like 10-minute chunk of my podcast. So this is something that was deleted, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it now. And that is my advent calendar, which has been up for sale and it's now sold out, so it sucks. I'm sorry. That's also what I talked about in my last podcast. Yeah, but if you bought one, thank you so much. It sold out. Well, it didn't sell out, but I sold more than half in the first 10 minutes, and it was, yeah. I'm always a little nervous putting things like that up for sale because it's quite a big investment, and I don't know if people are interested or if they like it, all those things. So I'm just really thankful and happy that people want to support my work and like what I do. But this shawl, I had a very nice test knitter, a sample knitter, knit this for me last year, and this is the Over shawl by Caitlin Hunter. And it's knit using the 4 colors from last year's advent calendar. And I don't know if you can see, so the top one here is Snowman, then there's like a pink color that's called Clara and the Nutcracker, and the brownish yellow here is called Tea and Hot Cocoa, and the blue is called Night Sky Above Santa's House. So it was just to show that you could use all 4 colors in a single pattern if you wanted to. This shawl is on the smaller side and there's quite a lot of yarn left, so you could definitely make it bigger. But yeah, I'm just really happy with last year's colors, and obviously this year's colors are gonna be different. I have big plans. I ordered the yarn and it's on the way. I also ordered some new colors to try out. So what I really wanted to talk about in regards to the advent calendar is that, like I said, it's a big investment, and it's an investment that not everybody can afford. And I'm not talking about not affording it because you've used your money on other things this month. Like, you know, sometimes you may like buy too many latte to goes or too much clothing and things like that. I'm talking about people who generally don't have the money for buying an advent calendar, even if they saved up. Financially has a tough time. And what I wanted to do with that is that I'm going to offer 3 advent calendars for people who can't afford an advent calendar and who may not be able to afford a lot of other sort of extra things to sweeten their lives. And what I'm going to do at some point, probably next month, I'm gonna do a post on Instagram, and then people can just email me. I don't know if people are at all interested in this. I don't know if it's I don't know what people are gonna think about it, because I don't want it to be like a thing where I'm like taking pity on people, because that's not what it's about. But I also want people to be able to get these things, because not everybody has money to buy really nice expensive hand-dyed yarns, and that's okay, right? We can't all or it's not okay, it's not a shame, is what I'm saying. So I'll talk more about it once I get it up, and I'll also post about it on Instagram. So yeah, enough about that for now. So quite a long time ago, I saw a post by Noticed, which is also the woman behind this pattern, the Tweedluce, and she had knitted a doll for her son, and it just looked so cute. And it got me really inspired to wanting to knit a doll for my daughter. But I was looking around for patterns, and I couldn't really find any. I could find patterns, but then I didn't like the face and things like that, and I kind of wanted it to be Waldorf inspired. So what I decided to do was order a gonna be a little bit of crinkling now, but I ordered a little face. I was looking into doing it myself, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna order it. There is, let's see, a nice lady in, I don't know, somewhere in Europe that makes these heads. You can order them in different sizes. She also makes Waldorf dolls if you just want to get like a doll, but she also makes the heads. So I ordered a little head for a doll, and then I'm gonna knit my daughter, like the body of the doll for my daughter, and hopefully it's gonna be done for her 3rd birthday, which is in October. I also got some hair. Got 2 different kinds of colors for hair. I don't know which one to use. I'm probably gonna use this one because it looks mostly like her own hair. And some wool batting for the stuffing, and some other little bits and pieces for doll making. And I'm really excited. I got the book by Anna and Carlos, which is called Strikkedukker, knitted dolls in English. And I'm probably just gonna follow the instructions for the body of their knitted dolls. They have sort of long arms and legs, and then add this little face on top of there. I'm really nervous about the hair part. I feel like it seems a little complicated, but there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube, so I'm probably gonna, I am gonna use one of those for adding hair to this little face. So that's a project that I'm looking forward to starting on, hopefully very soon. I also am, my boyfriend's daughter Freya is turning 11 next month, which is crazy that she's 11 already. But she's been talking about me knitting her something for a while, and so I thought I would knit her a little sweater. Well, not a little sweater, a big sweater, because she's 11. Out of these 3 yarns held together, I actually made a gauge swatch yesterday, but it's out on the balcony drying, so I can't show you. But it's quite nice, actually, these 3 colors together. I'm going to go off on one of her knitted sweaters, which is made out of 100% acrylic, I think, but she wears it a lot, and just knit sort of the same style as that one. I hope that she's going to wear it. I'm a little nervous because I have knit her things before, just smaller things. She doesn't wear it a lot. I think for her it's more the thought of having something knitted for her, which I get. I knit a lot for Esther, but she's also 2 years old, so it takes a lot. It's a lot quicker, and I decide what she wears still, so she can wear it. She wears it quite a lot, her knitwear. But when you knit for an almost 11-year-old, yeah, I'm just hoping that she's going to wear it. Crossing my fingers. The yarn together is very soft. It's like 2 superwash bases and a cotton base, and so I hope she's not finding it scratchy. Yeah, fingers crossed. It's gonna be like a 16 stitch gauge probably, so it's gonna be faster as well, which I need because, like I said, her birthday is in 3 weeks time. So the last thing I want to share with you is, like I was talking about doll making, but like my little figurine is this little guy. I don't know if you can tell. He is so cute. I love him very much. I definitely love him more than my daughter, even though it's made for her. I made this because I wanted to bring something for her on the flight when we were flying down to Barcelona. So I made this one for her. I put him in this little box, and I used these scrap fabrics for like a pillow and a comforter, and she's not played with him. She may have played with him for, I don't know, 10 minutes tops. So at the moment she's not super into him. I thought she would be, because she kind of likes playing with a dollhouse. There's a dollhouse at the library where we go to. She loves playing with that, but maybe it's because there's not a dollhouse. But I thought like the whole thing of like him laying in here, just putting him to sleep, things like that, that she would find that very entertaining. She did for like a couple of minutes, but that's sort of it. Then she's not been that interested in him. But I think she may come around when she gets a little older. He is made out of oh, I don't know what they're called. I'm gonna put like the name of like what he's made of on the screen if I remember. But there's like a it's the things that pipe cleaners, is that what they're called in English? That's what they're called in Danish. I'm gonna go with pipe cleaners. So the body is made of pipe cleaners, and then I just put on little felt pants, say like this, and I knitted him a sweater and a little hat, and then I have his hair, and the shoes are made of beeswax. I don't know if it's focusing. And his head and his hands are made of wooden beads or pearls. He is so cute. I'm really happy with this little guy. So I definitely see myself making more. I am already making another one. So I found the tutorial for these. I did not make this up myself. I found a tutorial. I will put the link for the tutorial for this in the comment box below. So if you want to make your own, you can just follow that and make your own little boy or girl or man or woman, whatever you want to make. Like I said, I started on another one. This is a smaller one. I have to do something about the hair. I'm not done with him. I wanted to use this, which is just a wool batting but it just looks a little crazy. I don't know, maybe I can tame it by putting it into a ponytail or something. I guess that would be quite cute, huh? Something like that. I don't know. So this is my second one, and I'm gonna knit him or her a hat as well. So the nice thing about this is that I had everything at home. I didn't have to go out and buy anything. For some reason I had all like material for making these little people in my house, which never happens. I feel like I always have to go out and buy 1 or 2 things to make something. So that was quite nice as well. You can see he's a little smaller. I made him a little smaller because I wanted him to fit into a bigger, we have a matchstick box that I found at my parents' house, and I wanted him to fit in there so he could sleep in the little matchstick box. Okay, I think that is gonna be it for now. I apologize, I feel like I've been a little scattered, but that's generally what it is. WOOLapyk means like gibberish, or like talking without making any sense, so I guess it works that I have been a little scattered. Or it works, but it sort of fits the name of the podcast. So, and obviously it's spelled differently than my podcast, but the meaning is sort of a play on WOOLapyk. I hope you are enjoying your summer. I hope to be back soon, and happy knitting until I talk to you again. Bye.